drums breaking all the bars. Yo, the crowd's feeling it, energy's alive. Spotlight on the tails where the future arrives. Bass in the air, every story's a spark. Late night on bass, we're light in the dark. Bass night stories on the stage, we vibe. Talk show magic where the chain comes alive. Tokens in the flow, let the legends provide. Late night on bass, we're taking it worldwide.
Oh, welcome everybody. Another edition of Late Night on Bass. I'm your friend, your confidant, your host, Buildable. Trying to get everything situated. Give me 1 second. Oh, today's going to be a good show. Today we are live. Road to Onchain Summit, one of my favorite shows out there. Why? Because your boy is sponsored. Getting this sponsored by Onchain Summit. If you haven't done so already, it is probably the #1 conference for the bass community. Give it a second. We're going to populate the room. I'm actually going to be live on Farcaster as well. So on my mini app, your boy's made a mini app. And if you haven't done so already, you should probably, let's see if these notifications work. Basically saying like every time someone goes live, let's see. This would be cool if it works. Let's see. Boom! Let's go. That is pretty badass. I mean, let me just show you guys something. And today we have a really, really good show today. We have 2 projects that are just loved by the bass ecosystem and big projects too. We got Fantasy Top and Solforge Fusion. We will be chatting with these 2 gentlemen shortly. Justin is in the background. Just so you know, sir, we'll get you on closer to like 12:15. We're going to start with Kibit from Fantasy Top first. So sit back, relax, share this live stream out. I'm guessing today's show will have 1,500 viewers. That's what I think. Market somewhat good. So when the market's somewhat decent, the people come out. But I do want to show you guys something real quick before we get in. So this show specifically, Road to Onchain Summit, I personally want to highlight the top mini app people because Farcaster bass wallet's the future, straight up. If you're somebody building cool stuff in Farcaster land, I want to talk to you. It's as simple as that because the distribution and the mechanisms of what they're doing is fantastic. But yeah, look at this. Boom. If you guys look, join in 3 more. I'm going live now. Join me on my live stream as we talk to Fantasy Top and Solforge Fusion. That is pretty fucking cool. So basically with these mini apps, you can now allow people to know whatever you got going on and send a notification out to the people out there. That's just so based in my opinion. And that's a good way of distribution too, right? So Farcaster is one thing, but the base wallet has different categories. Not everyone's in it because it's in beta, but the way it is there's like 10 different categories. So if you are, say, I'm in news, right? My thing is on the news, and I'm ranking number 5, which is cool because like now if someone doesn't have any idea who the fuck I am, they come into the news app, they see, oh, Late Night on Bass, boom, discovered. So that's why it's really important for a project to have some sort of, I guess, exposure to Farcaster, to the mini app. So yeah, very cool to see. But enough about that. Let's chat today. Before we bring on Kibit from Fantasy Top, I know he's in Paris or France somewhere, so it's probably kind of late for him, but he's staying up for us, which we do appreciate. Let's just kind of go over just a macro chat for a few minutes, and then we will dive deep. Let's just stop that screen. All right, so everything matters, with actually, let's go see what's happening on base because I think who cares about macro? Hopefully numbers keep going up. That's all I care about. But yeah, let's see what's happening on this. Hold on. So it's utility season on base. And let's just start off with IOX. Indexy. Basically, now we're in the stage of the cycle. So base has different, I guess, runs, right? There's the meme runs, there's utility runs, there's all sorts of things. Right now, we are in a utility run meta. And I think these 2 projects coming on are going to like what I have to say. but that's where the mind share is at. So for instance, you look at something like Indexy, they're all catching bids. If you're something of note and you're building utility right now, the time it's your time. So you have Indexy. Um, Indexy is a utility project. It's hitting 10 plus million. Then you have things like, AOX. AOX is at 6 million. It was like 1 million a week ago or something. And that's just like the clone of Jesse. They're building like an AI agent on the base app. So you have all these things running, and you just have to kind of know what cycle you're in. Memes aren't really running right now, but you also have, OPSYS, that operating system. This thing was literally at nothing and it's over a million. Again, look at these charts. So you kind of have to understand what stage of the cycle. And last, of course, QR, which, shout out to Jake, who's been on, who has one of the top apps on this on the Purple app. But yeah, you look at QR, this thing was again 1 million, now it hit about 6, now it's consolidating. Again, the time to be in base, people are like, all right, when's the memes going to run, whatever. You just kind of have to know where you are in the cycle, and utilities where it's at. So I'm not going to bore you with any other information about that. Just know where you guys are. But I think at some point memes are going to run. When that happens, I think we're all going to be very happy. By the way, the base team wants me to get a new camera. Might have to. The bosses are calling. I think my camera's not too bad, but anyways, neither here nor there. We have about 344 people tuning in. Again, 1,500 people, everyone. If you haven't done so, please reshare so I don't look like a loser. But now, without further ado, we're about to bring on Fantasy Top, and I'm excited for this one. Let me just kind of scroll. Oh, and by the way, I do want to put this out there again. When it comes to innovation, you have to know what's happening. Everything on the base app is something that was really cool. Again, the future is the base app. Whether you care or not, I'm telling you right now, in the next 2 years, the users who are dominating base app now, whether it's a project, whether it's users, they will become the next big thing. They will run that app. Betting against base app is basically betting against Coinbase. There is no way I'm doing that. There's literally no way I'm doing that. And as Kip would say as well, day one where I met him was electric. The energy was electric. It just made me double down on my belief on the base app and everything going on. So for this project, not financial advice, but I am going to let people know, I think this is a sleeper. 53K market cap, basis for everything. Why? This was the first ever coin created in a base group chat using Clanker. So all fees are distributed amongst 100 members, and it's the first ever coin created in a base group chat. To me, that has value. That has a lot of great people in it. I don't think the market realizes what they have, but I do. And I think this is an absolute gem. So if you are betting on the success of Coinbase or the base app, not financial advice, but kind of financial advice, I think everything is a good choice. But regardless, without further ado, we have the myth, all the way from France. Kibit from Fantasy Top. How are you doing today, my friend?
Hey Bill, super excited to be here with you. Really good.
I'm excited to see you. First of all, awesome to meet you in the base app. How was your experience at day one?
Day was kind of intense. To be frankly honest, like we were kind of focused on Alston with fantasy migrating. So like fantasy top was on blast, and we were migrating on base like 2 days ago, 2 days before the day one party actually. And so we got invited to the party. We went from like Lisbon to LA just for this 3 days event, and we were kind of like, we kind of knew there was like this TBA app being live, but I actually had no idea about the ambition they had and the works they had put in the app itself. And I was like really surprised and excited to see the vision one that they built, the speed at which they built the app. I mean, like the whole app was made in 8 months, which is kind of like really impressive for like a big company like Base and Coinbase to some extent. And the speed at which they're moving and the vision they're pushing for is really amazing. And so yeah, I was quite blown away to be honest.
Yeah, no. How was your experience, by the way, with Thread Guy? I saw that like recently you went on him. That's a big deal. How'd you like his experience?
Yeah, Shredder is really cool game. It's we're lucky to know a bunch of the big KOL of crypto, since they're like most of them are like in fantasy as heroes. And actually, Thread Guy was one of the early one that was on fantasy since I think in like day one actually. And so same as Ansem, same as like many other hero that we actually met at the day one event, like Gigi, like. There was Jakey, so it was really fun because it was the first time I was meeting them in real life. And yeah, the day later I did the show with Thread Guys. Was super cool. Honestly, he's a great content creator, honestly, and so young.
For sure.
It's insane. It's insane.
Yeah, no, I actually met him for the first time there too, and I had to literally approach him and just be like, "Hey, man, like I actually respect you for what you're doing. I'm much older. I'm an older guy on base, but he's a good inspiration for showing what live streams are about. I think that's the new medium. Like I'm trying to do it only for the base ecosystem, and I think I'm doing a good job. He's taking it to another level, so I had to give him respect because this is kind of now how the way content's consumed in our society,
Mm.
right? It's not necessarily through written format, it's through live interactions, live conversations. We have 560 people tuning in. And I think if we did it on a space, we wouldn't have this because it's just less authentic. So live streams are the future. But all right, so Kibit, let's talk to you. Let's first, before we talk about base and the mini app and whatever, let's first things first. What exactly is Fantasy Top? I know there's so many people, like we got introduced. Well, actually, no, we met, but even the base core team, I talk to them all the time. They told me, "Hey, Fantasy Top is one of the top projects. You need to talk to them." I'm like, haha, actually, we're going to.
Nice.
But the you guys are making so much buzz, not just on base, but across all chains. You look at your socials. You have, I can't even count that high. Tell me, what exactly is Fantasy Top?
Yeah, for sure. So Fantasy Top is a trading card game where we take influencer on X, and it's crypto influencer right now. We make some card out of them, and people that know them, love them, and spend some time on crypto Twitter will can collect those cards, exchange them on the marketplace, and try to create some deck of 5 influencers that will uh, perform the best on a given week. So it's a fantasy game where anytime influencer create a post, make a reply, the quote, anything that they do basically on Twitter, we tracked everything, and then we rank them based on how good their post was, like how viral it was, and the number of reach, number of views, everything is taken into account, and then we can rank those influencers to see who's the top one. And so people try, just like fantasy football, DraftKings, this kind of game, try to find the right team, the right composition of crypto influencer that will perform the best on a given week.
And where did this like? Okay, so first of all, how long has Fantasy Top been in development, and kind of like where did this idea come from?
So it's more than a year and a half actually. So we released on Blast. It was May of 2024. So the live version is already more than a year old, and we started this on January 2024. So it's really a year and a half. And the idea was, to be honest, it wasn't part of a big plan or anything at that time. My brother, with my co-founder Mikado, and Travis, my friend, we were already working together on some NFT lending projects. We were like trying a lot of stuff and building, and just keep on building, keep on testing stuff. We had this idea of, oh, what if we do like drafting but with influencer, with the idea of like the new sport people and the new athlete and the new like famous people are not just the sport people anymore. It's also just the influencer. And like when you check the biggest influencer on like social, like Mr. Beast and all, like those guys are like much more famous than most of the athletes now. And so it kind of makes sense. And it's like, oh, let's just try it out. And it appears that people just love it, because like we built something in 2 weeks, some kind of like proof of concept. And a couple of weeks we just already had like a couple of hundred users, daily active user. There was, even though there was nothing to win because it was all on testnet and no real money, there was like still playing and having a lot of fun. So we kind of all like quickly knew there was something there, and then we just push it along, and have since then created this awesome community of Fantado that we have, and spend a long time on Blast, and now we're base, and hoping to stay there forever now.
And we're going to talk about it. I think, like I said, a lot of waves are making the rounds. So I think getting on base and getting the exposure on this chain going forward, I think is is a really smart idea. By the way, girl just said first time I've seen Kibit. Kind of looks like it's PFP. And sharing what the people say.
Looking like my PFP is crazy. It's Remilio, so I take it as a compliment.
And take it as a compliment. Take it as a compliment. Take it as a compliment.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
By the way, Justin, in the background for Solforge, I sent you a message. I'll be having you on probably around 12:30 if that's possible. After I'm done with Kibit, my battery is running low, and where I'm at, there's no outlet, so we're gonna have to put a pause before I get you on. But we're gonna finish Kibit segment. The show must go on. Shout out again to 772 people tuning in. All right, so you've created this successful thing. If you guys are looking at it right now, let me share the screen. Let's share the main page. All right, so bet on your favorite X influencers, 190K players, 5 million in rewards. Enter. All right, so right now everything's through a desktop, right? You have a leaderboard. So exactly, explain to me this leaderboard. Are these people that are playing, or these are just the influencers you can bet on?
Those are the what we call heroes. So it's like the crypto influencer that we're tracking. So we have a bit less than 200. We just had Jesse as one of the hero on the last season, and basically those 200 influencer every week will compete to be the best one. And so right now it's Greg. I mean, if you scroll down, I believe you will recognize many name, like many name from them. There is like many name from Base, a lot of name from Solana, like a bit from everywhere, trying to just be as agnostic as possible. And actually, right now, anyone can become a hero also. So what we're doing is that we have. We're not only tracking those 200 people, we're tracking everyone. So right now we're tracking more than 100,000 people on crypto Twitter, and anyone that talks about crypto will be tracked and will get some point based on like the quality of what you're saying. And at the end of every season, which is a month and a half, some of the top people that have some of the biggest point can become heroes in fantasy and get their card and get traded and get some revenue. Because what's interesting for those heroes is that once we give them 10% of our revenues, so for them it's just like they don't have to do anything and you get paid for that. So, and I think that's aligned really well with the vision of Jesse on the content creator and going there, because you just do your job, which is posting on Twitter. You don't have to talk to anyone. You don't have to
Yeah.
post somewhere else, just like Frentech could have done before, some others, and you can get paid for that. And also because we have our like daily active users is around 10,000 daily active users, and so those people playing will push those heroes because they want their hero to win, so they will interact, reply, repost the hero stuff. And so definitely for like smaller influencer with like less than 50K followers, there is like a real boost on fantasy whenever they become hero, because like they have the community pushing them from behind. So really for those guys, it's like a win-win. And our players just have like a ton of fun trying to strategize, trying to anticipate when a hero will go broad, when a hero will go like full shit posting, trying to understand like what type of poster each and every one is, and yeah, that's about it.
Now that's so fun and so unique, and it basically gamifies the whole thing, and that's what degens want, and that's what their appetites want. So talk to us about the move to base. You're on Blast, you're doing very, very well. Obviously, people know who you are, but yet you chose to come on base. Tell me what the thought process behind that, and like why did you decide to do that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it was an easy decision, but we took our time. The first stuff is, so Blast was definitely insane for our like launch, because we really arrived at the same time that Blast was coming, and anyone that was there in crypto around 2024, I think know about Blast and may have even like tried to farm Blast, because they on the launch stuff they did a really good job at creating some nice incentive and creating like a loop that was just so viral. So fantasy, we wanted to position ourselves as the top app there on Blast, and we successfully did so. And so we created this community. It was going well, and at some point Blast starting going. I'm not sure exactly what Blast and like Pac-Man from the founder of Blast started doing, but definitely we could feel that there was less intensity in the work they were doing. A lot of like issue that was raised by the community were like left unnoticed. The communication just broke down, and just basically step after step and day after day, the chain was kind of dying. And so at first it really didn't bother us much, because at Fantasy we're like trying to abstract the chain as much as possible. And if you go on Fantasy and start using the app, like my goal is that except when you send some money from another chain, you will never see and even know where you are and where you're transacting. You can just connect with Twitter, you can just connect with Google. You don't have to understand anything. So like having a chain dying was not like such an issue, because at the end we just needed to grow our app and make sure we get these users, and it like we were not blaming the chain for that. But at some point it was just like too much, because some people started to be afraid of keeping their phone there. It was like, oh, I don't want to keep my phone, and maybe they will scam, maybe they will do this, which I don't think will be the case, but still it's a serious issue we have to take into account. And also in terms of help we were getting from their side, we were like getting pretty much nothing. And even though we take our own responsibility for success and trying to grow, it's still like nice, and it's still really like really exciting to have like a blockchain partnership that help you and push you and have a vision that can help you get this distribution, because at the end of the day that's just really what matters, is like getting some new eye on your product. And at this moment Base was pushing for this new mini app, and I mean the vision that was behind there, it was just an easy solution for us. The only two chain that we hesitated on going was Solana and Base.
Yeah.
And we didn't want to take any new bet on like new chain. I mean, we were approached by most of them, and I do have to say that Mega ETH, for example, was a chain that we really vibed with and we really loved, and I'm pretty optimistic and bullish on this chain. But going on a new chain again and taking an insane risk, it's a lot of risk. And Fantasy now is more like well established, and our goal is not to take the bet, it's just like to grow as much as possible. And so going for Solana or Bear was the only two like serious option. So and
So
because of
keep it real quick. I want to. Do you have 10 minutes to just kind of
yes,
wait? Okay, so why don't we just take a tea? Your boy needs to charge his computer and where I'm at. They don't have a charger, so why don't we just take 10 minutes,
let's go.
hang out, drink a little coffee, a little croissant. I don't know what you do in France, but we'll
It's 9 p.m. so I will just
no coffee then.
no
All right.
coffee now.
So we'll return in 10 minutes, guys. Stay
Yes,
tuned. We have over
no worries.
948 people. The show will continue. I assure you. I assure you. I assure you.
Hello, hello, hello. Kibit, are you back?
Yes.
Thank you for the temporary timeout.
Yeah, no worries.
All right. Well, anyways, back to cooking. So as you were saying, you could have chosen anything. You're narrowing it down to Solana and base, and then you were not interested in anything else. And so, what was the differentiating factor for you to choose base over Solana?
There was, I would say there were three. So first, our community was, I would say, more EVM guy and was like already quite big on base, and like it was. I think we attracted a bit less Solana trenchers, hardcore trenches, even though I really love them and I've spent a decent amount of time there. So it was more of a natural there. Then the mini app was the biggest one because we knew that the distribution that could be bring by like base was just insane because at fantasy we have like a really good retention, and like when people start buying playing cards they just like kind of stay forever, but it can be a tough game to start with and understand. And so creating this mini app that is like free to play, you can just like quickly do some stuff, earn some cards, earn some rewards, and just go along. Is just an insane opportunity for us to be there, and so that people from the mini app start playing on fantasy, and if they get hooked up, and they can uh, come after on the app. The last one was obviously because it was EVM chain, so the transition from blast to base just took us. I mean, technically, it was a couple of hours. The most time was spent on making sure the bridge was perfect. Where on Solana, it would have like taken us a couple of months of rebuilding everything, making sure everything works. So it was kind of of a of a no-brainer in the end.
All right. So now you've made your way to base. So let's see if we can demo the app in person. That would be great. But so far, though, what has been your overall, I guess, opinion of base as what you've seen so far with Fantasy Top? Good, bad? Give
I
me.
mean, it's been really well. I was surprised for like the size of the chain and the type of company, how like dedicated they were on helping us and making sure that we got everything that we needed to make to go there and to make a smooth transition. The support they gave us from day one was really intense, and I mean it's really ambitious and vision. It's quite risky because they're trying to kind of like force this vision onto the market. It's not the same stuff that I would do because me, I'm more like a builder, which like I try to iterate there. Where the app that been created, it was like from day one, there is like the wallet, the chat, the feed, everything embedded there. So it's kind of a risky bet from this point of view. But I do think that there are like these really smart people. They will be able to iterate, add some stuff, change stuff if they like when they see how people use it. Just as you said at the beginning, I wouldn't bet against Coinbase overall. So definitely excited and bullish for Base.
I love it. All right, so let's try to do this. I was trying to. Okay, so you're not 100% on the Farcaster one thing. So
Yeah, we'll have to see what's needed to become a fully Farcaster mini app. Definitely needs to do that, but if you want, you can play the free to play on the desktop version.
yeah, we'll do that. Let's do that. And then before we start playing, tell me a little bit about the mindset that you have when it comes to the base app and integrating the mini app. Obviously, you realized your company realized you have to be on the mini app and create it. What was your reasoning behind the mini app specifically? Was it distribution? What was
Yes, purely distribution. As I was saying, it's like, I mean, it's just a funnel that you need to create, and you need to put as many people at the entry of the funnel to make sure that you convert the most people out of it. And so, like, what I liked with Coinbase Mini App is that it was not about recreating and putting the old fantasy game inside the Coinbase Mini App, but really trying to create a unique game mode that would fit the purpose of what the mini app is about. And that I think we delivered pretty well on this point, because so the free to play, you don't have to spend any money, you don't have to send money there, so it's like really easy to get onboarding on. We really thought about like more closer to what Clash Royale could do, or like a clicker game could be, even though it's like quite different because our game our game are like longer because it lasts for 24 hours, but it's really something that you can enjoy and just like play on the side and just like each every day just open the app, play a tournament, collect your card, build some, level up, and just like move forward. And so distribution was the biggest reason, and we really tried to build this game mode so that it fit perfectly what like mini app are about, which is just having fun and testing some stuff around. I can't hear you. I'm not sure if I'm the only one.
You were not the only one because I was on mute.
No worries.
Very cool. All right, so let's check it out. Let's see what we can do. Let us see what we can do. I really want to test this out. I'm excited for it. I am excited for it. Just seeing if I can somehow get the base app on, because it's really all mobile, so it's a little difficult.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. I mean, we can play. You can play it on desktop too if you want, if it's easier.
Yeah, we'll do that right now. But I just think the mini app is just so much cooler. But all right.
Yeah, it is. It is.
All right, so let's do this. All right. Let's test this out. All right, so we're gonna go to enter now, right?
Yes.
We are going to we'll connect with Base Wallet. Why not?
Yeah.
Oh, I got it. All right, your boy is connecting. Hopefully, I don't get drained. I don't think I will, because you're a very trustworthy man.
Yeah, no worries.
All right, so welcome to Fantasy Top. Continue. All right. So first screen, bet on. Sure. Actually, no, not on this one. All right, for bet on the. Let me just make sure we're seeing. All right, cool. Let me just. All right. So here we're on the site. Bet on the X performance of your favorite influencers through 2 game rooms: Classic, a trading game with a weekly payout of over 100,000, or Tactic, drafting but for Twitter. Participate in the daily contest. Which one do you recommend, sir?
So right now, like we are like really focused on Classic, and Tactic is being paused so we can like revamp everything. And like on Classic, there is right now, I think it's $250,000 of like of rewards that you can earn. So really recommend like this one for like the people that are like serious about trying to win some money and have fun. But right now, after you just claim the gift, we can go on the free mods so that I can show you the free version of the app that we've created.
I like free, sir.
For sure. So this is like a small gift of entry. Fragment is like just the on-chain money, like I mean the in-game money that we use to buy some cards.
Okay, well, your boy just got 20. Let's go.
Let's
Big deal here. Big deal. All right.
And
So
if you want to go at the top left on core, you see there is like you can switch for the free. Yeah, exactly.
let's try free. Let's try free.
And so
All right, get your free up. So I get to choose heroes. All right, let's see. Okay. This card represents an influencer X. We call them heroes. The higher their engagement, the higher their score. A hero's strength is determined by the number of stars they have. Stars are updated every week. Every hero card exists in 4 rarities: common, rare, epic, legendary. The rarer the card, the higher the boost on their influence score. All right, let's set up your first team. Pick your favorite heroes. All right, so how many do I get to pick? Oh, I get to pick 8.
So this right now it's like 8-star heroes. So it's the top performing heroes right now.
Okay.
Maybe you know ICO Beast is I think it's pretty big on base.
Yeah. So basically, I have to choose one of these 4, right?
Yes, exactly.
ICO. I know. All right. So let's go here. I gotta give Nick. He's cringe, but I like that.
Yeah, it's cringe, but it's fun.
Okay, is this one? I don't know who Honey is. Loki, I don't know.
Honey she's a really good trader actually. Like more.
Who, Honey?
More like I actually recommend following her. It's a really good tip.
Okay, I'll follow her, but for right now, I gotta go Newsy.
Yeah, Newsy is good.
And let's go with another one. All right, this is fun. Oh, Orangey Ram. I'll go with Orangey. Special. Every time I see a pudgy penguin, I sometimes think to myself, I owned 4 at one time in 2021, and I had like the ice blue ones, and I thought like, yeah, I flipped it for like 10 grand profit. I thought I was a genius, and now we know. Hindsight.
this kind of story happens to. I mean, I stopped counting the story that looks like that on me. Otherwise, I'm gonna kill myself. So
Yeah, you can't. Like,
gotta focus on what we have. Huh?
Yeah, I faded the ether rocks. I was like, 7 ETH for this
Yeah.
bullshit picture, and then next thing you know, it's 500. I'm like, "Ugh."
Yeah, I sold my Pudgy actually maybe a year ago or something. It was yeah.
Well, I'm sure you did pretty well. I mean, now you have a Remilio, right? So that's good.
Yeah, Remilio have been my go-to and community-wise, I'm more closer to the vibe of like Remilio,
Yeah,
Milady
there. I need to get one of
than
them. to
Pudgy,
do
but
well. All right, so D's. I'm gonna go with D's, and then let's go with. I like G Money. Let's go G Money, and let's go with Santiago.
Santiago,
And
really smart guy.
very smart guy. And let's go Psycho, and we
Yes.
have a team. Let's go.
Yes, you have a team exactly.
All right, so now we hit start playing. Let's see what happens.
So you would have to scroll a bit. I guess we don't see most all of the screen. Exactly. Yes.
All right, so what I do here is I start competition.
Yeah. Whatever you want.
Okay, let's start. So tournaments last 24 hours. Your score is all about their performance. All right. So do I launch a tournament?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Dude, this is cool. Pick 5 heroes to create a deck. So out of these ones that I chose, I can only choose 5 now.
Yes, exactly. And there is also like, as you can see, you can only get 18 stars out of it. So we try to make it so that it's like you have to strategize, and also you can't just put the top performing heroes, otherwise it would not be fun. So you kind of get to create what works well.
Okay, so I only have 18 stars to choose from.
Yes.
Gotcha. Let's see. Well, I'm at 12 out of 18. Let's see. I think. Ooh, okay, I have 2 more. That means I have 6 to play with. So I might have to do like a 4 and 2, I think. Yeah, that's what I'll do. D's. Oh, wait, he already has it. So let's see. I have
No, it's perfect. No, it's good. Just a small bug on our end. I think you're fine. And you can put Santiago and you're good.
What's that?
You can put Santiago, I think, and you'll be fine.
Yes. Santiago. Yes, let's go. Launch the tournament. Santiago, please produce some bangers for me, please. All right, and my deck is live. The score of your deck changes. The higher the score, the bigger the chest roots. All right, so once the competition ends, what happens? Like, is there now the winner and they win a reward, or do they progress to a different stage?
Yes, so like right now, as you can see, there is like a small timer. So in basically 24 hours in one day, you'll like, and you can scum, and we'll update every 5 minutes, so that whenever some of heroes start posting, we're gonna track them and rank them, and then you can see the score of your like deck progressing. And as you can, if you scroll a bit below, there is like this. If you go just a bit below on the screen.
All right, let's see.
Scroll. Yes, you see the next chest, like so. Those points and those are like chest rewards. Like when you see the at the bottom next chest, and the more points your deck will get, the better the chest you will get, and the better the rewards. And so at the end of this stuff, you'll just get some rewards, some new cards, so you can like get some new people, try to strategize more, try to create more deck and all. And so that's the core aspect of this game.
Dude, so fun, man. I love it. I love the fact that you're gamifying it. So, all right, but before we let you go, Kibit, like talk to us. What's next? You're on base now. You are the darling of base, and I'm excited for you. But like, what's the next plan? What do you have in store? Romek, feel free to give alpha. Your boy loves when guests give alpha. But yeah, tell me what's next on the roadmap.
Like, so there is on the game aspect, so fantasy, the stuff that we just tried out, it's really about consolidating and making sure that we leverage the base community and the base mini app and everything that we've like worked for on the past few weeks. So it's like really about mainly distribution. We do have like a couple of bugs that we need to fix on the app, but like right now we'll be focused on bringing new user and making sure that we grow as much as possible on this game. And we do have like now like the company that's being split kind of into with the cloud. If you actually go on top at the top level on with the free arrow, you can also go on cloud. If you go at the top the top menu on fantasy, here, if you click, you can go on cloud at the bottom, And so this is like closer to what Kaito-kun is doing, where we're just basically ranking everyone based on the discussion on crypto that they're like doing on Twitter, and leveraging this. So we're gonna create the first campaign ever with Zed. I don't know if you know, it's like a betting game.
The horse racing game. Right?
Yes, the horse racing.
Yeah,
exactly.
I've had him on the stream. Shout out
Exactly.
to him.
Yeah, exactly. Like they're a really awesome dude, and we're gonna try to create the first like mindshare leaderboard campaign with on-chain metrics. So only like the player of this of the game will be able to go on the leaderboard and earn some reward, and and try to just talk about it on Twitter basically, and try and leverage the InfoFi wave that we're like trying to build. So this really are like the two focus right now that we have.
I love it. I love it, sir. I love it. I'm excited for you, man. I'm excited for this. I'm excited that we got to meet, because I can tell I've been in the space for a while, and I know projects that are going to have long lasting impact, and I wouldn't bet against you, sir. So thank you so much for coming on the stream. 1,135 people, hopefully pretty much all on base now know all about Fantasy Top. So thanks for coming.
Hopefully. Thanks a lot, Bill. That was awesome.
Great to have you, man. Chat.
Bye. Ciao.
All right. Kip it from Fantasy Top. Man, I definitely would not be betting against him. Definitely would not. 1,137 people tuning in. We have Justin Gary coming on next, which I'm excited for as well. Your boy Bill needs a haircut, though. I must say, I'm not liking how it looks. And if the room quality and like the voice quality isn't up to par, I'm sorry, friends. But the show must go on, and I needed an outlet, but I found one. And again, before you guys do check it out, please go on Farcaster, and if you haven't done so already, download my mini app. It's streaming, and yeah, it's a good time. But anyways, without further ado, we're gonna bring the one, the only, Justin Gary from Solforge Fusion. What's up, my friend? How you doing?
What's up, Phil? It's great to be here, man.
Dude, pleasure to have you. Pleasure to connect with you. How's your day going?
My day's good, man. I just got back from a convention at called Gen Con in Indianapolis with 70,000 gamers, the largest tabletop game convention in the U.S. Got back in yesterday. It was awesome to see people reacting to our games and getting to interact with fans, and you know, just kind of still on a high from that.
Wow, that sounds amazing. And by the way, again, apologies for pushing you back a little bit. Technical difficulties happened, but we're all good now. So thank you for being a trooper. But yeah, no, let's talk Solforge. And by the way, I love the fact that David from the base team, like anytime David from the base team hits me up and is like, you need to check this project, I was like, say no more. I don't even have to know what you're doing, because he's the filter quality for me. So if he says, and he raved about you guys. So if you don't mind, Justin, you know, we have over about 1,200 plus people tuning in. And they haven't heard about Solforge Fusion for the very first time. If you don't mind, tell us, what is Solforge Fusion?
Yeah, appreciate that. So Solforge Fusion is what we're calling the world's first hybrid deck game. And that's taking the concept of a trading card game and evolving it for the modern era. And what that means is I actually partnered with Richard Garfield, the guy that created Magic the Gathering, the guy that created the entire concept of trading card games. And he and I have partnered together to make Solforge Fusion. So Solforge Fusion is a game that you can play right now for free on Steam. It's a Web 2 classic game. It's also a tabletop game. So there are physical printed cards that we use new technology to digitally algorithmically generate every single deck of cards, so they're all one of a kind. You shuffle any two decks together to play. Every physical deck can be scanned into your online account, and every digital deck can then be turned into an NFT. You can use the token to obviously purchase in-game items and interact with the ecosystem and earn SFG through playing. So it's the only game in the world that actually has a one-to-one collection between what you own physically and the digital true ownership of digital objects on the on-chain.
Wow, there's a lot to unpack. So you're saying you're partnering with the Magic the Gathering person?
Yeah, the creator of Magic the Gathering. He and I became friends almost 15 years ago now.
How did that relationship come 15 years ago?
Yeah. So this is a fun story. So originally my background, right? When I was 17 years old, I became the youngest ever U.S. national champion for Magic the Gathering. I traveled around the world, eventually winning a pro tour and a world championships. And I ran into Richard a few times during that period, but it wasn't like we didn't become friends, right? And then later I designed well, first I went to law school, which was a terrible idea. I was miserable. Then I
Same with me,
decided to
man.
become,
And we have that in common. I ended up passing bar, and then I decided, you know what, law is not for me. I'm going to just become a full-time DJ and a
yeah.
host.
Listen, man, sometimes you got to learn lessons the hard way. And like, honestly, like when you find that thing that you're really like passionate about that makes you come alive, the world just gets better. Like you are able to add more value to the world. You enjoy what you're doing. So, you know, if I had to spend way too much money for law school and go through that process, okay, it's lessons well learned. So anyway, I worked on games for Marvel and DC and World of Warcraft, and then eventually I quit and started my own company and did launch my game Ascension, which is a deck building game. People can download it for free on their mobile devices, and it's a tabletop game as well. And I went to a conference called PAX Dev, where we were teaching, you know, with other game developers, and Richard Garfield was giving a talk, right? And of course I'm going to go listen to the, you know, at the feet of the master, taking notes in this big crowd. And at the end of the talk, they have a Q&A. And somebody asked him, "Hey, what's your favorite game right now?" And he says, "Ascension." And I literally like jump up in the crowd and just like, woohoo, like a little kid, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the whole room laughs, but who cares, right? This is like a life goal for me. I mean, his game Magic changed the course of my life. And so this was great. And it gave me an opportunity to talk to him after the session. I said, "Hey, you know, I'm Justin Gary. I created Ascension." And we talked for 2.5 hours straight. And we both had a shared vision of the thing we wanted to build next, and that was Solforge. And so it really was, ever since that day, we have been close friends, we have been co-working, and building this vision and bringing it to life and continue to expand it is just one of the great joys of my career. And, you know, it's so much fun to build this community. So that's kind of how that relationship started and how Solforge Fusion came to life.
That's amazing. So tell me then, yeah, I mean, that's, first of all, congratulations on all your success. I mean, climbing up the ranks of Magic the Gathering and then creating your own company, that's fantastic. And that's kudos to you as an individual. So tell me, okay, so now you have this, this company, you have this idea. Now tell us about the Web3 angle coming on chain. First of all, is Base the first chain that you're bringing this on? Have you been on other chains? Let's start with that question. Are you on
so we originally launched on Solana, and so we do, you know, we have the game existing there. Base is the first chain that we've expanded to since Solana. Our vision has always been to be multi-chain.
When did you launch on Solana?
A little less than a year ago, so it was like September of last year.
Okay, so now you're on Base. So let's start on Solana. Now you're on Base. So first question then to you would be why come to Base?
Yeah, so I mean, the Base community, the Base team, and the Base technology, and that's really the reasons we made the decisions all the way around, right? We want to be able to, you know, I come at this not from the Web3 degen side. We do have some of those people on our team, including some of the people who built the original, like one of the chief operating officers of Shapeshift and turned that to a DAO, and people who are like the degen side, but I'm the gamer side, right? You know, from my background. And I wanted to build where I thought the technology was the best, where it allowed us to do and expand and grow quickly, where there was a good user base that was dedicated and committed and that we could bring in as players, and where we had that capacity to, you know, where the teams at those companies were also great, right? You mentioned David, and you know, where we spoke directly to the people that are, you know, behind building Base and building the Base app and things, and they clearly have a vision that is to grow and be this incredible platform, and they want to support gaming, not just the kind of financial degen transactions. They wanted to support gaming communities and great projects, and that was a big factor in why we decided to come to Base.
And so far, okay, tell me about your experience with Base. And I want to, for those tuning in, over the 1,200 plus people, we're going to do a live demo as well. Whether it's through the desktop or to your Forecaster mini app, we're going to showcase that. But okay, so now that you're on Base, tell me about, you know, the good, the bad. You don't have to only say good stuff. Like, I'm very much an advocate of, if there's some bad stuff that maybe they need work on, like that's how we all improve. I don't only just drink the Kool-Aid. But so far, what has been your experience now that you're on Base?
Yeah, so I mean, it's very new, right? I mean, we literally just launched within the last 2 weeks, right? So this is a very fresh kind of period. The response has been really amazing so far. It was so much easier to transition and integrate than even I thought it was going to be. Like I thought it was going to be pretty easy. We used layer 0 technology to bridge the token over. We built inside of 2 weeks. We were able to build and stand up all the interactions so you could purchase and everything just functioned perfectly on base. Like I was shocked, frankly, with how much we were able to get this done quickly and efficiently. In terms of what the response from the community has been like so far, it's been strong. We've been seeing good buildup of liquidity and everything with the token reaction. We've seen users adopting the base game. So far, base game. I mean our core game experience, not the game on base. And then I think so far it's been the three pieces to me that matter when I decide what chain I want to support is the team, the tech, the community. And as I said, working with the team has been fantastic. The tech and the process of converting over has been easier than I anticipated. And so far the community reaction has been great. Again, it's still very early, but so far people seem, like what I've tried to do is I'm always a product first person. Like the game, the utility, the thing that you have has to be great. And this game has to be great regardless of if you cared at all about token price or any other thing that's going on. And then from there, you build in all those systems and hooks that make all the degens love the experience and have lots of opportunities to sort of earn and grow. And that becomes part of it, right? Even if just to diverge a little bit, right? You talk about the original creation of Magic the Gathering, creation of collectible card games. They built a new economic system on top of a great game, right? I can play this game, I can have fun with it. And then because my collection value goes up, if the game gets bigger, if there's more people that play it, if people care about it more, then intrinsically I benefit economically. I have more valuable collections. And I think the Web3 side of it has to follow that same premise where the core game experience is so great and we grow that. And then from there, everybody's going to win, not just because your NFTs and your collection are good, but because the token ecosystem has more utility and more value.
I love it. So let's try to pull up a live.
So do you have the game on Steam? Because that's going to be the easiest way to play it. If you can.
No, actually I don't. But do you have a link? I can. Beautiful thing about Late Night on Base streams is I can stream anything as long as I have a link.
Yeah, let me show you. So we'll we have a lot more platforms coming, but right.
Do you guys have plans to integrate like a Farcaster mini app or a base app to get distribution that way?
Yeah. So our goal, and this was the last night, is like we built the game, the physical version of the game first, and got people engaged in playing with that. Then we built the PC version. We've gotten people engaged in playing with that. It's still out in early access, so anybody can play it and access it completely for free. And then we're expanding to mobile generally, so we'll have our own app on iOS and Android, and then we'll be expanding to platforms like Farcaster and the base app and elsewhere once we have those, because building the game and making sure that the interface is great for that small screen and all of that stuff has got to get done first. So right now the version you're going to play on Steam is going to be optimized for a PC screen, not for a mobile screen.
Let's see it. So let's see. Did you send it to me?
I sent it to you here. I can send it. I'll send it. I don't know which version of the link I sent.
Yeah, no, if it's in the private chat, that's good.
Yeah.
All right, let's share this tab. All right. You're not signed in. Okay, I'm not signed in, but is there a way to do I have to use the app here?
You'll have to download the app. Yeah, if you have you don't have Steam at all on your account, it could take a minute here, but I can speak to it, or I could even potentially load it up on my screen.
Yeah, you know what? Why don't we can share your screen? Why don't we load up on your screen? That way people can see it's the same thing.
Give me 1 second to get that loaded then. Okay.
And while we're waiting for Ryan Sant, good afternoon, legends. Ryan, always great to have you on. Looking forward to seeing you at Onchain Summit, San Francisco. If you guys haven't done so already, get your tickets today. It's in 3 weeks. It's definitely the event. Jesse will be there. All the base team, not all, but a lot of the base team will be there too. All right. So let me know when you're ready, and we'll share yours.
I believe that I'm sharing successfully here.
Okay, let's check it out. Yes, you are. So let me unshare my screen. Boom, boom. Show me what we're looking at, Justin.
Excellent. So here's the core gameplay experience. You can play either a campaign mode, you can play online battles against other opponents, or you can play a solo battle as kind of a practice mode. I'll jump in and I'll show you. I'm in the middle of a campaign mode here, but let me start a new one so make it a little easier. So you can start the campaign at different challenge levels. This is great if you're just kind of getting started, because you can play and go on different adventures and accrue different powers as you go. So this is kind of like a, you know, classic little choose your own adventure thing. So we're going to get some bonuses. So this gives me a bonus to my mage powers. And then you can go ahead and battle against different bosses and different villains. So we're going to jump into a battle. Just give you a light sense of what the gameplay experience is like. So you'll notice we've got 5 lanes of combat. Your opponent has 5 lanes of combat. Every card in your hand has 3 different levels. And the cool part about the game is you can play any card you want. The cards you play level up, and the cards you don't play don't. And so you're going to build these effects in order to not just do what's important now, but to manage your effects for later. So I play a card, my opponent plays a card. I play a card, my opponent plays a card. Some cards let me play a bonus effects, like this guy here. And so then you can make some cool combos that let you do all kinds of crazy things, like play enchantments that modify your screen, play bonus cards that let you kill your opponent's stuff. And I'm just kind of playing quicker than most people are going to be able to follow, just so you can kind of see the cool stuff that can be done. And then I'll talk a little bit. I'll leave the game screen after that, so we can talk about how you build your deck and the other features of the game. And so here you can see I'm dominating my opponent because I like to show off on camera. And then when I'm done, he gets his last play. Then there's a battle phase where anybody that doesn't have anything across from it will deal damage to the opponent. You'll notice he started up at 47 health. Anybody that's fighting somebody across from them will hit whoever's across from them. And that'll continue back and forth until one of you knock the other person to 0. And that's kind of the basics of how you play.
This gameplay is just phenomenal. Like it's funny. Like a lot of times when there's gaming companies coming on chain, the gameplay is just is lackluster. But because you come from Web 2, the traditional quote unquote normal world, you're bringing that element of like actual quality, which is really unheard of in Web 3.
Yeah, that's right, and thank you for saying that, because to me that's the real difference, and that's where I think we can succeed where a lot of other people have failed in this space. Because let's be honest, I mean, if it's just about degen hunted for degens, a lot of times it becomes a house of cards, right? To the lack of a better analogy, it becomes a situation where you're hoping that enough people come in just because they think it's going to do well when the game can't sustain it. Right? Like my game Ascension, when we were at Gen Con, we were celebrating our 15-year anniversary, right? And that was like 15 years I've been producing the game, making new content, partnering with Richard, whose Magic's been around for more than 30 years. And what it takes to build things that are going to last and grow over that time is a commitment to quality and a relentless focus on just trying to provide the most value to players. And then from there, you can build a whole ecosystem around it. So let me show you a little bit about the decks themselves. These are the different decks that you can play with, right? These ones I've customized by building 2 different decks that was purchased, and you can see all the different cards that are in it, all the different levels that are there. So when I want to fuse a new deck, what I do is I pick any 2 factions I want. I pick one of these guys. And again, I can look at the decks and figure out my strategy, but just for showing it to you, I'll pick one of my decks that was pre-built. I'll pick a second deck that was pre-built. They're all, and then every one of these is one of a kind. Nobody else has the same deck as me. These are all algorithmically generated to be unique. There are more possible deck permutations than there are atoms in the universe. Wow. Each one comes with a main character, a Forgeborn. So you pick which one you want to be your leader, like your champion. And then you enter a deck name. We'll just call this one Degen 1. And we fuse the deck. And now it's going to be ready to play. And that's it. Unlike other collectible card games where you got to match 30 or 60 or whatever cards, you can take this one right into battle, jump into games, and you're ready to go. And so that's a really valuable thing for people out there who might be, let's say even you were watching this and you were a little intimidated by what you saw, right? I understand sometimes if you're a core TCG player, Richard and I have more experience combined than probably anybody on the planet. We got a great deep experience for you. We have competitive tournaments, we have storyline tournaments. But if you're new, just try the game out. It's free to play. it's a very quick, just pick any 2 decks and go. So it lets everybody come in. We've got tons of rewards. This is kind of a little track of all rewards you can earn in game, just for playing. No payments required. And so we really try to build something that could kind of stand the test of time and have that appeal to all different types of players.
Oh man, I think it's just so good, so clean, the gameplay. Like this is what, so many projects strive to get in this world, but yet obviously just don't have the capabilities. So, all right, so Justin, before we wrap things up with you, a lot of the things is I like to get to know the why behind people. I think that's kind of separates my show from a lot of others, because it's great to talk projects, but on base especially, it's very important to get to know the founders and the why. And so for you, gaming has been obviously something that's taken your life and something you've dedicated your whole life to. So my question to you is, and you've done very well with businesses, but let me just ask you this, why bring this on chain? Why not just be content with what you have and you're great at it? Why take this next challenge to get the world to know all about Solforge Fusion? Like why put in the work?
Yeah, it's a great question, and boy, is it a lot of work. I don't want to pretend like it isn't, man. So the answer comes in a couple parts. Okay, first, there is when I talked about that first conversation Richard and I have about wanting to always, wanting to build Solforge, it's because we both share a vision of wanting to always do what's next, right? Richard evolved the entire category of games with Magic the Gathering. Ascension was one of the first deck building games to put everything into a single box. We were the first deck building game on mobile. We actually even have a version of it in VR. Solforge, the original version of Solforge, was advanced what a trading card game could do. And then to bring Solforge Fusion to life, I saw the possibilities of what was available, not just with blockchain and being able to have that sense of that same joy of ownership and trading and selling your cards that we could do physically, that we could do digitally, but also the fact that digital printing technology had evolved. So nobody could even, you even go back 6 years, 7 years, you couldn't even possibly do the things that we're doing right now. And so the vision has always been like, take the core fun and the joy of the gaming experiences that has, lasted forever. And then how do we express that in the new form? How do we reach new audiences? How do we build a global community, right? It's one thing to say, I'm going to play with my card collection and trade somebody at the local shop, but what does it mean to trade somebody in the Philippines and be able to hang out with friends globally, right? Like that's been a big vision for us. And so that's what drives me to not just work on this project, but all the projects I choose to do. And Richard also, right? Richard, with the success that I've had has been good. The success Richard's had has been quite amazing. He doesn't need to, worry about money. He wants to make things that are exciting and fun and push the boundaries. And with Solforge, the original version of Solforge that we made was a game that existed only digitally on mobile. And then after about 5 years of running that game, we had to turn off the servers. And once we did that, everybody lost their collection. Like it was gone. And that was crazy for me, because previous to that, all of my games were all physical games where if I stop making it, maybe there's not new versions of it, but everybody gets to keep it. And so that experience really stuck with me. It was tough for the fans. It was tough for me. It was, just and so to build something that could actually last, like Solforge Fusion, where it lives on chain and the players truly own the things that they own. And eventually the vision is that we'd move everything on chain, right? So the long-term build is that the gameplay itself will eventually be on chain, and the owners of the community fund, it will allow them to sort of dictate where the future of events and promotion and support, where that goes. Like that's something that can really last, not just 15 years like Ascension or 30 years like Magic has, but something that could last in principle forever, because the fans are able to take it over because it lives on chain. That's something that's really exciting and compelling to me. And so those are kind of the hopefully not too long-winded reasons why we built this, why we've come to base, and why we're so dedicated to building the best digital and physical experience that's possible for this kind of game.
I think that's a perfect answer, and I think it's powerful what you just said. So thank you for sharing that. And like I said, the world we live in a world that, wants to have the same opportunities, and it's just endless when you can come on chain and do things that you can't do in the traditional world. And that's a beautiful thing about Web3. But so Justin, before we wrap it up, any last words that you have for the over 1,250 people tuning in live to hear all about Solforge Fusion?
Yeah, of course, would love for you to participate in our community. Solforgefusion.com. You can link to and join our Discord. You can download the game for free and play. Of course, you can get the SFG token now on base, and there's a lot more coming with our expansions to mobile and elsewhere. And also, look, we've touched on a lot of topics here, including what it takes to follow your dreams and pursue something that you love. Maybe if it's not law school and then a law degree. But I also talk a lot about this. I have a Substack, Justin Gary Designs. You can just go to justingarydesigns.com, and a podcast that I talk about the game design process, and I interview other creators that applies regardless of what you're building, right? Because most people here, I think, you're passionate about the base community, you're passionate about building. And I really, it was a painful, very difficult process to get to where I am. And I try to help share that elsewhere. So for those of you out there that are, of course, join us in the game and products we're making. But if you have your own vision for products that you want to make, if you have your own things you want to do, one of my missions is also to help make that easier. So that content is out there, and you can just kind of find it by just searching for Justin Gary Designs, in addition to joining us in the Discord, asking questions directly for the Solforge Fusion.
Justin, thanks for coming on the live stream, man.
My pleasure. Hope to be back again soon.
Absolutely. Definitely want you back on. Guys, everyone, that was Justin Gary from Solforge Fusion. That man is very accomplished, and it's always great to have that kind of quality of builder and individual building on base. That's what's going to take base to the next level, to have more people just like him. But all right, guys, that's it. Over 1,250 of you tuned in. Appreciate each and every one of you. And I don't know. Hopefully the markets don't rug. I noticed prices don't look too good, but it's okay. We still create content. We still balling. Don't let the market fool you. Number eventually will go up. All right, guys. Peace out. Tomorrow we have Next Layer with Chaos Chris and myself. I think at noon PST, but I'll double check. And as always, I'm your boy Bill. I'm out.